All
I dig
right.
it. I dig it.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All
Well
right.
done, Ego. Well done, Ego.
Thank you. Whew. Glad y'all liked it. Glad y'all like it. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. What's your
Hi.
show, man? Run.
Hello, folks. It is time for Wednesday night is overbooked. We are from Ego's channel this week. Thoughts and prayers go out to Matt. He is currently going through rehab, but he is here in spirit. He's actually here in the chat as well, so we'll be talking about that. So let's go around the horn here. Ego, how you been, man?
Dude, it's been a rough week, but getting through it, and actually this made my day. Like just working on the intro, doing this new part of the show has been fantastic. So thank you for letting me do that. It's taking a lot of mine. I appreciate it, man. Otherwise, doing
Good. And the man who was not here last week, and neither were we last week because had family issues, but someone back from his travels, Mr. Brad, how are you, and how was your trip?
The trip was good. A lot of stairs, a lot of climbing of stairs in southern Italy. And I suddenly came to the realization today of how surreal literally the last month has been in the state of Florida.
Oh yeah,
two big hurricanes, people losing their homes, everything crazy in the office, and then us just going to Italy. So
there you go. I like it.
Whatever.
I like it. All righty. So we're here to talk about some wrestling. And some stuff has been coming up. Stuff in the news. We had a surprise departure from the WWE. Samantha Irvin, the ring announcer, who I thought was at this current stage is the best in the business. And I've heard many folks put her up with now the Fink as the best WWE ring announcer of all time. Suddenly decided that she is done, and we'll get the initial thoughts first, and then we'll go into the tribalism of the IWC. She had finally had enough of hearing it, and let everyone know exactly what her reasoning was. So, Ego, your thoughts when you heard that Samantha Irvin had left?
I thought she would have tried to put in more time before she moved on. I don't know what opportunity she's got in her back pocket that makes her think she should strike now when the iron's hot. But I mean, she was a great announcer. I thought she would stay longer. I just don't know what the next move is that she's going to make. And I think that's going to let us know whether or not, or it's going to let me know, it's like, okay, whether this is a good decision or you jump the gun. So we'll see.
Brad, your thoughts?
I wasn't surprised that she was leaving because, of course, Ricochet left. So I think I think we all kind of figured that would happen, just based on past history. Wrestling couples in different federations, so to speak. That doesn't last long. I mean, before Adam Cole broke up with Britt Baker, he went over to AEW because that's where she was.
Okay.
Well, she has dispelled the myth that it was Ricochet that was her reason for leaving, as she took to social media to answer questions. And I did not know this. When she originally came to the WWE, she was trying out as a wrestler. Now, that did not work, and they liked her voice, so they plugged her in as a ring announcer. This was supposed to be, as she said, her way in. She wanted to be more of an on-screen role as a manager, maybe a GM, but the WWE really did not have any creative plans for her. And her honest answer was, I love the people I worked with. I just hated my job. So for someone who was so good at it to say, this is not what I don't want to do, I don't blame her. She has got she has got the resources. She has a daughter from a previous relationship, and Ricochet, they are engaged. Ricochet makes a shit ton of cash with AEW now. She can afford to be at home. So I wish her all the best. I do not begrudge anyone who is like who had if they have the means to quit a job that they don't like, please, but by all means.
Fair point. Fair
That's
point.
my thought on that. Yes, and we have Matt in the chat. Is he our AEW correspondent, and Bobby Lashley has made his AEW debut. So, hey, Jacob. So,
Wonder how much money Bobby Lashley's getting paid.
A lot,
man.
A lot.
But for the Cons being billionaires, I mean, Jesus.
Right, and we'll talk more about, and we'll talk about Bobby next week.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He said some stupid stuff, but then
again, I didn't know. I didn't see. Oh
yeah. So, along with that, we also the WWE in a press release unveiled something new called the WWE ID program, which is kind of the way I would look at this as this is creating their own version of territories right now. So they've got five distinctive schools, or wrestling schools, or indie promos that they've already designated as WWE ID approved. You got Booker T's down in Houston. You got the Nightmare Factory in Atlanta. You have Seth Rollins's in Davenport, Iowa. You've got one, I believe, in New Hampshire. And then you got the Knox School of Wrestling in Los Angeles. Now, along with in a few, and sooner than later, I believe the NXT Performance Center is moving from Orlando out here to my state, down to my town in Las Vegas. So yeah, so from what I've understood, from what I've gleaned from this, the WWE is going to provide financial resources and maybe some compensation for talent that they have tagged as WWE ID approved, to kind of give them a fast track to NXT, to fast track them to the main roster. So anyone have a thought on this?
Right, do you want to go first, man?
It seems like this really signals that NXT is becoming truly the third brand, because the whole idea of, remember when NXT first started, was it was going to be the developmental league.
Right
now, basically, we're looking at like these little indie programs are really going to be the development league now.
Right, and so NXT might be the next might be the landing point to just to put the finishing touches.
JV squad,
right?
Not you, JV, not
right.
You.
Right, exactly. So and I was listening to and I put a video in our group chat from a guy named Andrew Baydala, who has worked with the WWE in the past, and there is cause for some concern. I mean, when WWE launched NXT UK, the British wrestling scene kind of just ground to a halt. And let's not forget, when NXT first started, when it was not the stupid game show model, WWE poached. They poached Ring of Honor, and they poached a couple other promotions, kind of like what Tony Khan is doing over, kind of like what Tony Khan did to New Japan. But so some concerns are because these indie wrestlers are still allowed to go work other shows, and because they're in it, they're independent now. If you're an independent promoter and you're using someone who's got this WWE ID tag on them, one of your concerns might be are they going to be too expensive for me to use, or how can I use them? Can I use them to put one of my guys over, as opposed to having them automatically win? So there are some concerns for on this, but I think all in all, if you get a chance to be in the biggest promotion of this business in the world, and they're offering a path that's going to make it easier to get seen, I think this is a net positive. Now, do I think this is also a way to kind of give a little dig at Tony Khan as well? Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. I will say that there's two analogies that I'll use, and they can cut both ways. The first analogy is NIL. So that's like the name, image, and likeness.
Okay. Because you mentioned that, because I was just going to say that. But
go on first. It to me, it's a lot like NIL. Like, hey, you don't have to worry about trying to rush your development to get to the pros, where you're going to either wind up hurting yourself, hurting somebody, or not technically sound. So, hey, here's a little bit of money while you work up your skills to get you out there. The second thing is it's a Major League Baseball reference that Matt is saying here. It's like AAA. The only way that this cuts in the wrong direction for me is, well, hey, I was in, WWE ID Orlando. Then they sent me to Chicago. Then they sent me to Vegas. Then they sent me to LA. Then they sent me to NXT, and then they sent me to WWE. That's the only thing that I could think of that.
I don't think that's how this is gonna work, because from what I've heard, from what W. Dallas said, and again, he's speculating because we don't know all the details. Maybe these probably when also some compensation will go to these wrestling schools, where you'll get a WWE ring. School, because that's what you want to work on. They'll have an apparatus set up to resemble a hard cam, or an actual hard cam itself, to learn how to play to that.
Right.
To get you ready for at least a jump up.
Yeah.
Now, now you mentioned the NIL program, and that was a program that called Next in Line. The WWE had it when they were trying to go for these college athletes and saying, "Hey, we would like you to come and try this out. We think you have a look and a skill set that we can use. We'll give you some compensation, yada yada, and if it works out, we'll offer you a WWE contract." Now, there are 3 current NXT roster members who are these NIL athletes. You've got Jasmine Nix, who's very green. You got Kalani Jordan, who we'll talk about her later. And then you have Obafemi. I think Obafemi's done very well for himself down in NXT. So some folks would like to say that the NIL was a bust, and I'm like, well, you're not going to build your whole roster on NIL. This is also the WWE saying, we're watching the indies. We're watching you guys.
Yes.
Which is something that makes more sense when Triple H is running things, as opposed to
definitely
Vinnie Mac.
Yes. So this is so I think we're going to see stuff like this coming around the future, and who knows what. Yes, Matt, that is absolutely true.
Agreed.
Now, You know what they found him doing in college?
What?
Shot put.
I figured that. He has a shot put body. I was wondering if it was shot put. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Big boy. And now we got a PLE coming this weekend.
Sure.
From Riyadh in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which was showing at 10 a.m. my time, 1 in the afternoon for Brad.
Yep.
So we got.
Oh, this gorgeous belt.
Oh, shut up. So a couple weeks ago, I actually did a video when they announced this, and I was going on the presumption of a 5-match card. They already announced the two. They announced the 2 champion versus champion matches, which I hate. And then I said, okay, let me try and guess the other 3. Well, I was pretty damn good. I swear I don't get the script. I do not get the script.
That's right. The Performance Center moving to Vegas is just a coincidence.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So then
we expect good tickets to WrestleMania. That's all I'm saying.
We really do.
Well, considering the prices, I can't.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
We'll split a ticket.
Yeah, 1 ticket. We get a third of a ticket.
Yeah.
For all 3 of us, sure. So so we've got the and we'll talk about the 2 champion versus champion matches. I will save those till the end. But then WWE decides to add 2 more matches to this card. So the Saudis are going to get their 50 million worth. Definitely.
Yeah.
They definitely got out their Saudi Mania. So the first one let's talk about is the one that just got added on Monday night. And that is the 6-man tag match, Bloodline versus Bloodline. Roman Reigns and the Usos versus Solo and his Timu Bloodline. It's going to probably be Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. Now, I'm like, when they announced this on a Monday, I'm like, why are you announcing this now? You've just spoiled SmackDown now.
Yeah.
Because Jay and Roman have not had a face-to-face yet.
Yeah.
And now, I'm like, okay. So, let's go. Ego, Brad, your thoughts and your predictions, and then I'll round out this match.
All right. Brad, you can go first, dude.
This is basically my point's gonna be what I talked about before on these Saudi PLEs, or whatever we're gonna call them, please. I always thought of them as like like a one-off, like an Elseworld in DC Comics.
One shot. Okay.
Yeah, one-shots. And I really didn't think they'd be putting in main storylines. And it seems like kind of inappropriate right now to do Roman and the Usos versus the Bloodline. This to me would seem to be more like a War Games match.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna put Jacob in there. What is it, 4 or 5 guys on a War Games? Is it 5?
It could be
4.
It could be as few as 4, as many as 5.
So if I was doing it, this would be War Games. Right. And I'd have the Bloodline with Jacob as well. And then I would have Roman and the Usos and bring in Sammy.
Right.
Exactly. That's this to me is screwing up the true storylines. I don't know why this is being done. It's too quick.
Because the Saudis don't want it. That's why. And
all this tells me is we need to be energy independent, so we can book our own matches.
and as now, I agree that this is way too fast, because again, this is way too close to the War Games match. So
all these are too fast.
So if you have to pick the winner for this match, Brad, who you got?
I got the bloodline with Jacob doing something.
Okay.
I think Jacob's not going to be an Andor. I think Jacob's going to be the spoiler and it's going to like wreck Roman and the Usos. And maybe then they go on to War Games to get Sammy.
That's okay. That's actually what I was thinking too. I mean, the only way that this works if you announce it this soon is if you plan on having shenanigans involved and someone comes in towards the end and they make a pact and then you do it for a War Game. So you run it back. So I guess they're trying to use this as a continuity, even though it's technically a one shot where this is supposed to be over and done with. But hey, we can also bleed at least this storyline into next month.
I mean,
I don't know how
the
rest bleed in, but
yeah, couldn't you just have the Usos take on Tonga and Loa?
There's no need to involve Roman Reigns at all.
Yeah,
it should just be them.
But it is Roman. That's the problem. It's Roman.
Yeah,
and
Roman throws it off. Yeah.
So my thought on this is, again, we have touched on it. It seems way too fast. It's way too rushed. It's way too close to the War Games match, which is at the end of the month. So I have also picked Solo and his crew because I think if this feud is going to go on, they need the heat to go on this. They get the win. And then in an outnumbered thing, you got the Tongans, you got Solo, you got Jacob. Sammy comes in at the end and becomes the equalizer at the end. Just
because he's not doing anything right now, really.
As of right now, he is not scheduled to be on the show. So
no, I mean, what's he really doing? I mean, he's not in any feuds or anything right now.
Nope. Nothing. So let's look at the one down. The one that I predicted. This is Seth Rollins versus Big Bronson Reed. I'm going to go with. I'll start with this first. Big Bronson Reed has become a must-see attraction on the Monday night. Absolutely, he has. And to pair him with Rollins, one of the biggest baby faces in the company, has just made his star just rise even faster. That being said, Bronson Reed needs this win way more than Seth does. So my pick is Bronson Reed to go with this. Brad, thoughts?
Okay, I was just checking. So Seth is almost 40 years old now. So he's looking towards the later half of his career, which means he's going to be putting over kids more than himself. I mean, Reed needs the push to look like the monster he is. So I also agree Reed's going to win. But at the same time, I'm also going with my same statement as I did the last one. This does not have the build-up it should have. There should be more build-up, I think. If it's 2 weeks.
I think, no. This started earlier when Bronson Reed took Seth out with 6 tsunami splashes.
Right. But I mean, this should be a longer build up to the match. Not just like Seth comes back and then 1 week later, now we're doing it again.
Jesus, man.
Nice, man.
The ring needs to break. The ring needs to break.
And I could see this feud kind of going and maybe ending on the first Raw on Netflix. And I can see this feud ending here because then you're moving into Rumble season and then the road to WrestleMania. And this keeps Seth occupied as well.
It does. I think you're right because I wouldn't know where to put Seth Rollins story wise at any of this because you have so many other storylines going on. Like, what am I going to do with them if I stick him against Bronson Reed? Then I keep him occupied. Ultimately, I say Braun Breaker wins because he does need the push, and I'm not going to lie.
You mean
Bronson Reed?
Yeah,
Bronson Reed. See, I'm selfish because I want to see Bronson Reed versus Braun Breaker. I need to get to that. I'm just trying to get to that. And I was like, hey, whatever you need to get you there so I can watch that, that's where I want to get you. And plus their names sound so similar and they're both huge as shit. So let's just cut the middleman.
On to Monday Night Raw, you got Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
I'm getting all my Braun screwed up.
Right now, right?
See, okay, it's just not me. All right, thanks.
Okay.
Damn, man. Sorry, I don't mean to derail the chat.
Oh my. Okay. And so and yes, I did predict this match here. Another match that I predicted is right down there for the United States Championship. LA Knight versus Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. Matt. he's got the measure kicking in. So
I got you. It's all good, man. It's all good. We're ready.
All right. Ego, your thoughts on this match?
You called the triple threat. So I guess it makes sense to kind of make it more interesting. I don't even know where LA Knight would go from here if he dropped the title. So I would say
the main title scene.
Yeah, I think I'm not saying this is a ceiling. It's just I don't see where else for him to go at this point. So I just see him retaining based on that. I can see places where Andrade can go. Carmelo Hayes is relatively new and fresh. You could put him anywhere that's going to technically make sense. LA Knight's the odd man out on story for me too, because I don't know where to put him. So I'm just going to say he's retaining because they're still trying to figure out where to put him at this point.
All right, Brad, your thoughts?
I agree. LA Knight's going to retain. I don't see him as like a main championship guy.
Man,
he's like a solid upper mid carder, but I don't see him vying for the championship, honestly. And even though I fantasy booked it when we were doing WrestleMania, I still think that he and Logan Paul are going to face off again for the belt.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a gimmick match at WrestleMania.
All right, here is my
thought. But I do think Carmelo will get a good shine off this match. I think he'll look really good.
Yeah. Okay, my thoughts on this is anything less than a title change, you have wasted the almost 2 months that Andrade and Carmelo Hayes have been doing, basically carrying SmackDown. They have for a while. They were the only interesting thing going on for SmackDown in their best of 7 matches. I would not waste this. I would put the belt on to one of these guys, and that goes against my thing of I don't like short idle reigns, but in this case, it's earned, and I would put the belt on Carmelo Hayes.
It's not that short, though. I mean, LA Knight got it at WrestleMania, so that's almost 6 months. What? He did? I thought he did.
SummerSlam.
Real? I thought it was.
Nope. 90 days.
Wow. Why did I think it was? I guess I upset him with that comment.
No. He had to restart his computer so we can just keep going on this. So yeah, I think it's a waste of all the work that these guys have done, and for the WWE just to say, okay guys, you great job, we're gonna keep the belt over here. It's kind of like, why?
Sure.
So
it is. So where does LA Knight go after this?
He goes into the main event. He goes into the main event and see he can feud with Owens. He can feud with Orton. So you've got options there. So right now we got 3 for Timu Bloodline, 2 for LA Knight, 1 for Carmelo Hayes. Let's look at the Women's World Tag Team Championship.
Oh my God!
My favorite title, my favorite championship in the entire WWE. WWE co-held by one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So we have the champions, we have the Power Buff girls, Bianca and Jade. They are going against Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, who from Metaphor from NXT. You have
sounds like PFC, Pure Fusion Coalition.
But then you've also got the Sky Pirates, Io Sky and Kyra Sane, who I originally said that would be the match. It's just those two teams.
Yeah.
And then they added in also Piper Niven and Chelsea Green.
They need to get rid of Damage Control. The name.
The name. Oh, yeah. Name sounds terrible.
Well, they have the worst names.
Sky Pirates sounds
Sky
awesome.
Pirates is better.
That sounds
Sky
awesome.
Pirates is better.
Well, because that was their name when they were in Stardom.
Oh. I mean, it makes sense though. Io Sky, Kyra Sane's the pirate princess, right? So
right. So the pirate princess and the genius of the sky.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. That works. Oh, that'd have been so.
So,
nice.
Ego, your thoughts on this, and I want to hear this. So,
you should have made me. I didn't even want to do this one, man. Bianca and Jade, they retained a month ago, right?
They won it back.
Yeah, they won it back. Oh, I'm sorry, won it back. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. So they won it back a month ago. It's terrible to say that I don't see them losing it again, because it would absolutely make no sense if no one's had it more than 2 months before they drop it again. I see them winning based on that. They already beat Damage Control. I don't see Chelsea Green and Piper Niven doing it. And Metaphor is too new on the scene.
Who?
To even, I'm like, Metaphor. What? Yeah, it sounds like a terrible insurance company. So
sounds like something Zuckerberg is putting out now.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. So I'm looking at, I'm thinking you would have to.
Oh God, Metaphor.
Yeah, Metaphor this was a NXT 2.0 product, and we all know how good that went.
Yeah, it's just a terrible process of elimination. You already beat Damage Control, Piper. I wouldn't take Piper Niven and Chelsea Green too seriously in this type of 8-person tag. It's just a terrible process of elimination. Like, there doesn't seem to be a threat. I get why they put 8 people in there. You can spread out your spots, make them look a little bit better, but it's just there's no real credible threat. So I just see them winning based on that. I don't even know how long this match is gonna go if Jay can only wrestle for 5 minutes though.
3.
So I mean,
try 3.
That's it's fair.
Trying to be nice, but don't be nice. Just to be honest.
I'll be honest. Yes, 3 minutes. So that's it's just process of elimination for me.
All right, Brad, thoughts?
It makes sense for them to retain because they just won, but really, I mean, for like people who are performing, it should go to Damage Control.
Okay, I will say this: what I would want to see. What I would want.
Jesus Christ, man.
I know he's on fire right now, dude. Matt, you're awesome. What I would like to see. I would like to see, as a fan, a title change happen and it go to Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. I think they're hilarious.
Okay.
I think they're hilarious as a duo, and they both can actually go in the ring.
Okay.
As the analyst looking at this from the 30,000 foot view, there's no reason to take the belts off of Jade and Big right now. I see possible singles programs for Chelsea Green down the road. I see big plans for Io Sky down the road as a singles.
Yes.
As a single.
Yes.
So you don't want to tie them into this dead end creative pit that is the women's tag team title. So
true.
And if the goal is to break up this power team and the WrestleMania. Hey, R2.
Yep.
So, and to break up this power team and eventually get them to a WrestleMania match, you have got time to build that. And hopefully Jay can learn more than 3 moves. So
Why you do her like that, man?
Well, just wait. John Cena is going to be back next year. He can teach her the 5 moves.
I mean,
That could work.
I mean, I'll be honest. As someone who watches a lot of NXT, Lash is an upgrade from Jade.
Okay, I'll have to watch it. I'll have to watch.
I'm just saying.
I'll have to watch. Okay.
So then we've got. So now we've got. We've got.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
No. We got Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton.
Yes.
This could be a banger, absolute banger match. Brad, thoughts and who wins?
I think it is a bit of a fast setup, but I think I like the storyline being built a little bit more overall for most stuff. That's just me as a storyline guy. I think it's going to have to be KO because this is building something up to give Cody something to do, because Cody right now is doing nothing at all. So they've already planted the proper seeds with KO being pissed that, like, you lined with Roman Reigns after everything he did, you bastard. So it's like he feels a personal affront. So it's going to good. I think it gives a good personal aspect to a future feud. So I think KO goes over.
Okay. Ego. I think he froze. Okay. So
he's still upset about Jade.
I think so. I'm getting a text message from him right now. Let's see what we got here. Ego's chiming in. Did it again. Fuck. So he's going to restart his computer. Okay. So at least it's not my end this time. So I'm going to start with this. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. Neither one has won a PLE match this entire year. Neither one. So why start now?
You're saying
this ends in a double count out, a double DQ. This ends in a no contest. This ends with neither of them getting a win. The match just spills over, and these two guys just want to beat the living shit out of each other.
They could throw in their SmackDown, so they could throw in a swerve and add like a no DQ or hardcore. Like
they've not said anything yet. They've not said anything yet.
I know, but SmackDown is Friday,
right?
So now it is recorded already. Right. I think.
Yes, it is. So, Ego. Brad says KO gets the win. I said, based on the fact that neither Kevin Owens or Randy Orton has won a PLE match all year, why start now? We have a no contest, double DQ, double count out, and neither of them win. Your thoughts?
I don't think they filmed that scene or filmed the shoot with KO turning on Cody for nothing. I think that he does beat Orton to, I guess, show some kind of brutality or something, just because I don't think that they would seemingly waste that turn like that. That's the only thing that I'm trying to go off of. I mean, I don't. Maybe it leads into a feud that you can probably bring into War Games. Maybe Cody interferes in the match and costs KO, and then they do War Games as a triple threat match between the three. I don't know. But that's the only thing I could think of that could possibly happen between these two.
All right. Now we come to the two most useless matches on the entire card.
The most beautiful belts ever made.
With 50 carats of diamonds, which, my God, and every show, they cart that thing around like they have more people. There are less people guarding the Stanley Cup than there is this belt. And the Stanley Cup is what?
It's so ugly.
It's terrible.
You know what it's like? It's like
Saudi.
that. The episode of Friends. Do you remember the episode of Friends where Joey bought Chandler a ugly bracelet? And he had to wear the ugly bracelet around all the time. And it was so ugly, he just started mocking it, and Joey came up, and it was just a mess. But it looked like something like a Mr. T cast off. That's what it's described as.
Yeah, this is a trophy. So
where does it go?
Nowhere. It goes into your case at home. To where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, does it leave Saudi?
I mean, whoever wins is going to get a belt to take home with them, but it's never going to be seen again on WWE TV.
Yeah, but did it? What I mean is, like, if it's actual diamonds, which it could well be if Saudi paid for it.
It might be.
I don't know where I heard it or read it somewhere, but like they said, like Saudis, I don't know if it's true or not, but like Saudis would keep it in their WWE museum.
Maybe, who knows?
Probably.
So we have the women's match with the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax versus the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. Ego, start us off.
Oh boy, let me think. You know what? Ugh, God. Maybe I give it to Nia Jax to extend the run a little bit. I mean, I think it should be the big bruiser on this. It's still weird that it's champion versus champion. Like, I don't know who's gonna want to eat the pin on this one. I'm thinking I thought Nia Jax, but like, no, I'm gonna go shenanigans. I don't see either one of them eating the pin at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna let you know right now, because they're making a big to do about this belt. Someone is eating a pin for both these matches.
That sucks.
Okay.
Man, if that's the case, I said Nia Jax maybe, but damn, that's awful.
I'm going with Nia. I mean, she's just gonna like sit on Liv a few times. I mean, didn't she do that to Bailey to win the belt? Was it Bailey?
A little bit, yeah.
But I also think that maybe Tiffy might do a little shenanigans as well.
Tiffany Stratton, that's an X factor right there. And you know, Liv is not going to come down to the ring alone. She's got Raquel Rodriguez, and she's got Dirty Dom.
Mm-hmm.
So shenanigans are going to ensue. I think the winner of the match is Liv Morgan.
Oh,
okay.
And then, because of all the shenanigans that have been happening, and during the match, Nia pisses Miss Tiffy Time off enough. There we get the cash in.
Oh, that's an interesting. I was about to ask, can you cash in when the belt's not on the line?
Because this is the only match where, because there's a Money in the Bank contract holder, if Tiffy were to cash in during the match to make it a triple threat, both Nia's and Liv's titles become active now.
Oh, that's interesting.
So there is that thought as well. And that brings us to the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes versus the World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General, Gunther. Brad, start us off.
So I've watched some of their promos.
Gunther's amazing. Gunther's amazing.
He just like has a fuck you face. I don't care.
He has become such a great troll. He has become such a great troll. It is amazing.
But they can't sell this match.
No.
That's what I get from it. I mean, they're both working good on the mic, but no one gives a shit. But again, this is just like, this is me as the billionaire playing with my Star Wars toys. So I'm picking Cody.
Sheik, Bronson Reed will come down to the ring and turn Dirty Dom into a 2D.
What is fucking Matt doing?
He's on some really good drugs, right?
Those drugs are like taking him to another level right now.
I love it. I love it. So here's the thing with this match and with this match structure. Because you got brand against brand. Here's what sucks about this whole thing. I do not think that you're going to have that the WWE is going to book Gunther and Nia to come out of both Saudi shows victorious, because they came out of King and Queen because they came out as both King and Queen of the ring.
Okay.
I also don't see them booking double SmackDown champions, double Raw champions. But in my case, they're going to, because I pick Gunther to win because of an aftermath from the Kevin Owens Randy Orton match, which will cause Cody to lose, but because it was by shenanigans, interference. Now, whatever, you protect Cody because Cody is not going to get pinned clean. Gunther is not going to get pinned clean. This is not a clean match. This is going to be stuff is going to happen.
Okay.
So Gunther goes over because he's just, I mean, if there was ever a Triple H guy, it is Gunther. So I'll let Ego talk about his thoughts really quick while I go pee.
All right, which thoughts are we going with? Just over which match, or just overall thoughts?
Gunther.
Oh, for Gunther Cody. You know what? I would say Cody eats the pin via some kind of shenanigans. I still hate the fact that somebody has to eat a pin. Champion versus champion is a terrible look to me to have to do this. I won't say it destroys your momentum, but it's hard to take it seriously. You lose, but you didn't lose your title. So it's like technically a no contest because there really wasn't anything on it. And then you got to bring that into War Games.
Yeah.
And then you're assuming that
it diminishes someone, and you don't want to diminish the world champion for the brand. Also, your mic's a little bit, your mic's a little hot right now.
It's hot. My bad. Let me turn it down.
Just a little bit. Yeah. I agree. I mean, the whole thing with the champion versus champion, it only makes sense when like you're trying to unify the belts.
Right.
So this isn't the unification of a belt. This is a piece of gaudy Saudi jewelry, basically.
Yes.
And who wants this? It's like, oh, I got this wonderful sweater for Christmas. Oh, this is the bunny suit in A Christmas Story.
Ralphie, yes, this is the bunny suit.
Yeah, this is the bunny suit.
Ralphie.
No one wants the bunny suit.
Yeah.
oh boy. Here we go. What does Matt have?
Matt's got this whole story going on. This is taking lots of turns.
Well, Matt also likes the monsters too. Matt likes the monsters.
It's a kaiju fight.
So as far as the event goes, I'm hoping the matches themselves make this event worth the watch. I mean, I'll be watching it, of course, because I've got content to do. So we're gonna move to something else, something new, another little idea that I took from Wrestle Talk, because I like those guys. They're fun. They call it the 3 count. We're going to call it the triple threat. Now, what we have here, this was supposed to be with Ego and myself, but plans changed, so we're doing it now. So we're going to show a WWE star, and we have to describe them, all 3 of us, in 3 words or less. Yeah. So we will wait till Brad comes back, and we'll give a quick explanation. Then we'll go into this. But in the meantime, Ego, last week I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
since you've been on this little journey with the show, has it changed how you watch the product of professional wrestling?
I will say there's the fan aspect that they didn't expect, and then there's, I guess, the behind the scenes that I'm figuring out more. The fan aspect is I didn't know how global it was. Not really. To the point where even though I argued against it, I can see how you would have WrestleMania overseas. Just because something got started and popular in the United States doesn't mean it always and forever belongs to the United States. If people enjoy the product that much and they're going to be as wild as they were in Lyon, France, and that wasn't even like a huge PLE, that was just them going out
Glasgow
there.
In Glasgow.
Yeah, you're like North America's 335 million people, which sounds like a lot, but then you realize there's like another 6.7 billion elsewhere. And why shouldn't they be able to, this guy.
Oh no.
Oh God. That's great.
This guy.
It's count as weapons.
I watched that. But
okay, so we're gonna I'm sorry, Ego. Finish your thought.
I was just going to say I didn't realize it was that global, so it should be shared with the world. I think the other thing is just how the matches are booked. Usually it was helter-skelter to me when Vince was in charge. And so it's hard to really it's hard to really care when it's like, oh, okay, you just do this person in. Oh, okay, this person's had a 2-year story run. He's going to win it. No, okay, well, fuck me then. I'll just go over here to AEW. But now that Triple H is running it, everything is more streamlined and it makes sense. It's almost like watching someone set up a tournament and it's playing out how you pretty much would think with a few surprises in there, so it doesn't get dull and stale, but it's more logical than it used to be, and I really appreciate it. It kind of locks me in a little bit more. So those are the things that I've pretty much known.
Going by what we all started as content creators doing, entertainment, stories, TV shows, movies, and stuff. You can see more of this in the Paul Levesque style of book.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So we're gonna do the triple threats. So for those of you who are just new to this, this is something I stole from Wrestle Talk, where they call it the 3 count. So we're going to show a series of professional wrestlers, and our job is to describe them in 3 words or less. So, Ego, would you start with our first, please?
Oh, just so you know, some of them I don't know well enough to give good descriptions. So
that's
some
fine.
of them I will. Yeah.
All right, give me 1 second. I just gotta pull up the roster so I can actually get a full picture on here for you guys. All right, and I'm sorry about this, guys. And JV, I'll go ahead and bring up yours on here too.
Okay.
Sorry, this stupid thing right here. All right, let me go ahead and give you guys the first one here. Go.
I just noticed our names on the screen.
Yeah, they're not. That's fine.
Yeah, it's a weird thing they've been doing with taking names off the screens now. I'd put on there for mine, but
I'm not worried about it.
Just odd.
There we go. Damn.
All right.
First one up is
there we go.
Io Sky.
Okay, so we will start with Brad, then Ego, and then me. So, in 3 words
or less,
describe Io Sky.
Okay, this one I have a description: champion in waiting.
Okay. Ego.
Girl can move.
Okay. Mine, early Rumble favorite. Because she seems to be on as even after we did our Rumble fantasy booking stuff where I had EO taking the whole thing. A lot of folks have EO on their short list. And Shiro's there up there. Hi.
Yeah,
hi, Shiro. All right. Next is
1 second here. I'm sorry, this is the one part besides the random drop streams where it's going to take a second. Hold
No
on.
worries. No worries.
Yeah.
But yes, Brad, I definitely agree. Champ in the waiting. She is on another level. Right now, her work bell to bell. There's nobody.
And also, my responses are like the first thing that came to mind.
Right. Okay.
Not anything. It's like,
all right. Ego.
For Chelsea Green, I got making her way.
Okay. Brad.
Mrs. Cardona.
God.
I put my three finally getting flowers. Finally getting. I mean, she's finally starting to get some recognition for the work she does. I mean, this girl can do anything you ask her to.
Could have gone with a bride theme too.
Possibly.
Interesting.
All right. Next is
this one. Core Jade.
Okay. Ego.
Tiny and mighty.
Tiny and mighty. Okay. Brad.
This is one I opted out of. I don't know enough about her.
Okay. Mine, wannabe AJ Lee.
Oh. Gotcha.
That's basically her character. Because she was a big AJ Lee fan, so she emulated her. She went down with an injury right around the same time Roxanne Perez made her heel turn, and Roxanne Perez has been playing Cora Jade, playing AJ Lee. Right. Matt. Matt. Oh,
this
Matt. All righty. Next up, 4.
Bring it up here. There you go. She girl.
Brad.
Character champion.
Okay. Okay. Ego.
She's got presence.
Okay. Holding title hostage.
Damn, dude.
I am a Liv Morgan fan, but as long as the belt is on her, it is nothing progressing on this. All right, Jacob.
I said the same thing. That's what I meant. She's only a champion for her character.
Right. And been doing the best work of her career. So, and we'll talk about this. And I'm sure we'll talk about Liv later on. Next up,
Stratton.
Ego.
She's got next.
Okay. Brad.
There are 2 options here: JV's girlfriend or WWE Barbie.
Okay. Mine. Cash in already. I mean, seriously, she's the only exciting part of the women's division on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Get that title on her and get her in a program with Chelsea Green, with Meechin, somebody to get, and then Nia can feud with Charlotte Flair, and then Charlotte Flair can build toward
with Tiffany.
WrestleMania against Tiffany Stratton. So there's that. All right. Next.
All right. Next up is
Miss Kalani Jordan. Brad, I assume you opted out of this one.
Not enough on NXT.
All right. Ego.
All right. Holy shit.
Okay. Mine, still not convinced.
Really?
She is athletic. There is no question about it, but she's a personality vacuum. She has no personality whatsoever. If you notice on that segment last night on NXT, after Zarya Delta won her match, you had Fatal Influence show up, and then Cora and Roxanne. The first one to jump in was Kalani Jordan. No pop whatsoever. Absolutely zero pop whatsoever. Zero. And she is in, and now she's standing in the same ring with Stephanie DeVaquer, Julia, Jordan Grace and Zarya. And then there's Kalani Jordan.
It just sucks because she can move, though. She can move. That's what I hate that for her because she's athletic as hell. Athletic as hell is probably what I should have said. Athletic as hell.
All right. And my last one is Ego. Start us off.
She's not Canadian, but new Canadian crippler.
Okay. Brad?
Leave PFC now.
Mine is stop. Please stop.
Really?
She has mic skills, but she's no good. But she's not good in the ring. She
go back to being GM
or
manager.
And now we have Ego's choices here.
Okay, bringing them up now. First one we got. Okay. He's that dude. That's my 3 for him.
I assume, Brad, you're not going to be.
Yeah, I feel like I should get to know this guy, though. I feel like I should get to know him.
I love you, Matt. Okay, so mine for Trick is better at chasing.
Oh, man. Okay.
Because once he has the title, it's okay. Now what? He's much better at the chase.
Okay. All right.
And your next one is?
And hold on 1 second.
Ooh, Matt. Wow. Ooh, wow, Matt. Damn. That's brutal.
Why would you do this? Why would you say something so hurtful?
Now I know what he reminded me of. Now I know what he reminded me of.
Man.
All right, next is. Scroll him up a little bit so we get to see more than just his face. All right. Brad, I assume you're out on this one.
Actually, I do know this one because you guys have been talking about him enough. Talented, shorter, almost.
Okay. Mine.
He's Nigerian, so's almost. Yeah. They're both Nigerian. He's got talent, and he's 5 inches foot shorter.
Mine would be next big thing.
He's got potential.
Definitely.
Definitely, yeah. That's where I can put it.
All right.
Other guy here.
You got your next one ready to go?
Hold up. This is ridiculous the way they have to redo this. I am sorry. Give me 1 second.
1001.
You are that guy. Okay. All right. I got it. Here we go.
How long have you known me for? Come on now.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Brad?
Look, no personality.
Ooh.
Future of WWE.
Jacob Fatu stare her down.
Ooh.
Dude, they had to stare down, and that crowd went, oh, damn.
Now, that would be a good match.
That'd be a banger.
I still maintain that, and I've said it before, I don't like his voice. His voice doesn't fit the look. He needs to get character in his voice.
Brock Lesnar had no character in his voice.
I know. And
the guy,
but again, look, no personality. That was Brock. He needs a Heyman. He needs a Heyman, really.
Maybe.
Yeah,
possibly.
Does. That would work.
All right. And your next one.
Boom. For me to be determined.
Okay. Brad?
Not quite there.
Next U.S. champion.
Ooh. Okay.
Matt for Braun Breaker. Braun Fatu Steel Cage. I don't think that could hold them.
No, I wouldn't be able to. And bring it back. Okay. Next one I got up here is
Matt. Tsunami.
It's gonna be everything.
That's his answer to everything.
I'm loving it though. All right, Brad.
Lupine freak.
Okay.
Also got next.
We weren't ready. This guy is something special. Something for his size to move the way he does. Now, do you know? He was in an interview. Do you know how he got started in wrestling? Watching his cousins while he was doing time.
Oh,
what was he in for?
Armed robbery at
age. Damn.
Oh,
yeah. Yep. So that's why that's why in certain international shows
he can't
go.
Oh, can he travel to Saudi?
I believe he can.
See. All
right. Next one is
take that out and bring this one up.
Brad.
Little prick heel.
I love it. Ego.
Future SmackDown champ.
I kind of go with that there, Ego, because my 3, Raw's not working.
Yeah.
He needs the entire stable needs to get drive up to SmackDown and start fresh.
There's almost like too much stables right now on Raw. I mean,
you got you got the Judgment Day. You got American Made. You still got
Final
Alpha
Testament.
Academy. The Final Estimate is just starting to get interesting.
Yeah, and the Wyatts.
And the Wyatts, of course.
Okay.
All right, and your last one.
Ego. Got up. Yep. Right on it. Peek down.
Brad.
Brad, you got one?
Which was stupid.
They ruined him.
It's still Butch. He's gonna always be Butch. He's gonna always be Butch. That's the travesty of this. So that's something that we can do at the coming up to a premium live event or coming out of it. But now we have one of the staples of this show. It is the top 5, as we'll be going through the top 5 WWE Women's Champions, and this goes through the entire thing. The WWF, we got the Divas, WWE Women's Championship, the Women's World Championship, Raw and SmackDown. Okay, so
since there's no points involved here, let's just say our names rather than like posting anything. We can just say the names.
I like doing mine though.
You can do yours. I'm just gonna say mine.
Well, and plus there's no way to say them. So okay, so we'll just do it this way. So our number 5, Brad, who is your number 5?
I got Becky Lynch at number 5.
Okay.
Ooh. I'm not gonna lie, I cheat on this one. Brad,
why?
I mean, I think she's a current consequential champion in the sense of she really defined herself and came into her own as the man. Now, I don't like the man gimmick so much, but it really put her over, and I think that's when she really became separated from her NXT character. I'm not even talking when she was coming out doing the Irish jig. I'm talking when she and Charlotte and Sasha, they were all tied together. This I think she came out as a man, and that really became her as a champion was being very significant of that.
Correct.
Even though I think the man gimmick got a little overdone.
I would agree with that.
Especially when I see her show up on Billions, the TV show Billions.
Right. Ego, you're number 5.
Not gonna lie, I this might be a little bit premature and I might be cheating a bit, but I'm gonna put Tiffany Stratton here when she eventually does become champion.
She's not a champion.
The night
I know.
champion.
Oh, we're not. You don't even want to do night. Okay, fine. That was me. I overstepped on that one.
Then I'm going to pick The Rock's daughter, who will somehow become champion because The Rock will put her over.
I was just
being
gonna
on
say
the
when it
chair
does
from the
happen,
board.
it's gonna be top 5
Right.
run to me.
Right. Because Ava's run in Schism was so great.
All right. So if that's the case, I'll go with Bailey. I'll just say,
Bailey. Okay.
yeah, I'll go with Bailey. Just for being so in a stacked NXT, coming up with like Charlotte Flair, everyone else, just to actually win the title and it be at least somewhat meaningful is a heck of a feat to do with the roster that she went up against. So I'll put Bailey at top 5 for that.
Okay. Mine is going to be Bianca. Mine is Bianca Belair. Only a 3-time champion, yet one of those championships lasting 7 minutes until she got cashed in on by EO. She has the highest title reign average of days.
Really?
Yep. And she is the longest. She's held a belt longer than any other female in the modern era. Rhea came close, and Rhea came close until the injury. So definitely, and it's a shame what's been done to her now, as her star is just diminishing because of the horrible booking with the women's tag team championship. I think it's a damn shame. All right. So our number 4, Brad, we'll go back to you again.
I'm going with Lita.
Lita.
Oh, nice.
Yep. All right. And I just think back to when I was watching Attitude Era and everything. And Lita was, for me, unusual compared to I guess it was still the Divas back then. Was women's champion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you didn't see like someone who could actually do aerials that I recall a lot.
Right.
Like Lita had talent. Lita had ability. I mean, she came in, I think, who's she managing? S.A. Rios.
And she had a much better moonsault than him.
Yeah. That's what I mean. She actually could go and looked good doing it. And she was an attractive woman too. So, and then, part of Team Extreme. Now, mind you, if she hadn't gotten mixed up with the whole Edge storyline and the simulated sex, I think that actually diminished her as a character, not as a champion.
Well, you mean
object. So
what you're meaning to say is, had she not actually cheated on Matt Hardy now with Edge,
yeah,
and Vince deciding to make it a storyline.
That's a great idea. I want to have someone have sex in the ring. It should be me, probably.
It was my idea, pal.
I'm not guilty of anything that I'm being charged with at all.
All right, Ego, you're number 4.
I've got Io Sky here. I'm having a new appreciation for her. I mean, you either see women that are huge, that look imposing, that makes the moves they do believable, or small and agile that can move. I've rarely seen someone that can do both for how small that they look, and Io's one of them. Her moves look devastating. They look believable. She's agile as hell. And, it's still kind of a shame that she can't necessarily reign supreme because of how stacked the women's roster is right now, that she wouldn't have more title reigns, more title runs. But just the sheer entertainment factor that she brings to it while she held the belt is why I've got her at number 4.
Okay. Now, Brad, I was gonna think, all the eras, and Lita was getting near the top of my list, and then I looked at her title reigns. Average 40 days.
Oh,
good point.
Barely a month. So my number 4, it's recency bias, and I am a fan, so I have Liv Morgan. If for nothing else, just showing when you're actually getting booked properly, and you're not stop storytelling, and you're not stop storylines, and are actually given a character that you can sink your teeth into, you can make some magic happen. And you cannot deny that 2024 has been Liv Morgan's best year of her entire career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
So we're now with our number 3, Brad.
Beth Copeland.
Beth Phoenix. Okay.
Beth Phoenix. The Glamazon.
Yeah.
Who, you know, when I first started seeing her show up, she reminded me a little bit of China, because she was much more muscular than you would see a lot of the other divas and female wrestlers at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But still, she had, I think one of the things very important to, and it's going to sound sexist, but a certain sexiness for women wrestlers. I think that helps their characters. Because guess what? Wrestling is still kind of a male thing.
Kind of, yeah.
For the most part. I kind of like seeing hot chicks wrestling.
Definitely.
So Beth Phoenix was, of course, very attractive, but she was also very talented in the ring. And she had, I think she was able to develop a good character and understood the sport well, and still today understands the sport well.
Yes.
And shows up now and again. Obviously, she's married to some dude in AEW, Adam something. I don't know what he did. We can't talk about it. It's anything we talk about, it's going to be rated R. It's going to be rated R. We can't talk about it. It's a family-friendly show. Right. But I think she also appreciates the business, understands the business, and I think her talent showed that. 3-time women's champion. I don't remember, she had it 4-time.
4-time.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
And was that a Divas title too?
I was going to say, I know she had a Divas title.
Okay. Ego, you're number 3.
My number 3 is Lita. I mean, I think the thing is that, you know, she was decent in terms of the wrestling, but she added that moonsault, and I hadn't seen that since what, Luna Vachon, I think. I hadn't seen it since that. I think it had been that long since I'd actually seen a woman do it, and the fact that she, at least, it was daring enough to try. I mean, now people can hit that moonsault easily, like Tiffany Stratton, but I mean, for seeing it at that point, you know, Extreme was in with the X Games. It fit the whole motif of the culture at that time, and she fit right in there. So to make her champ was like a sight to behold. That's why I got her at number 3.
Okay. Brad, you and I agree, because I also have Beth Phoenix as my number 3. And this was a time when she came on the scene, the women's division was a joke. So you actually had a legitimate wrestler in there to feud with the likes of the other legit wrestler at the time, which was Mickie James.
Oh, that's right. Mickie James.
Then crossing over into the Divas era, which was an even bigger joke, and she and Natalya held that thing down and gave it some respectability.
Didn't Beth train with Natalya?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the dungeon.
In the dungeon, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Beth is definitely, I mean, she got into the Hall of Fame before her husband did, which says something when her husband is Edge. But I think that in a time when women's wrestling needed someone to show that they're more than just tits and ass, that they can actually perform, she was the one to do it, and she was really just a product of being in the wrong era.
Fair.
Yeah. All right. So our number 2, Brad, you're number 2.
Speaking of tits and ass, I'm going Trish Stratus.
Trish Stratus.
Ah, nice, good call.
Again, and really, she started out as eye candy, but she actually developed the ability to look like a good wrestler. And of course, she feuded mainly with Lita. Of course, there were other women wrestlers at the time. And I really think she grew out of her role of just being like eye candy. I think she gained a little more legitimacy when women's wrestling was not taken as very legitimate at the time.
Right.
And you could see she actually got. I think she got better. You could see that she seemed like she was actually interested in understanding the role of being a professional wrestler.
Right.
So I think her skills increased, which made the matches with Lita pretty good. And is she the longest women's champion?
No.
Who is?
Bianca is.
Okay. Okay.
Ego, you're number 2.
Becky Lynch, man.
Becky Lynch.
Well, I didn't like the whole I'm the man thing either. She was fantastic on the mic. She had great in-ring talent. She was able to sell, and she has seemingly no problem with putting other people over. So
definitely.
So I mean, like, what more can you ask for someone that's like that? I mean, she actually made me want to look more at female wrestling in WWE, AEW, and NXT. At that point, my buddies had told me about it. I'm like, who the hell is this? Like, yo, she talked to Shawn Michaels. He mentored her, and like the next thing you know, she's the man. So I gotta respect her for doing all that. So I got her number 2.
Okay. My number 2 is the genius of the Sky, Io Sky. Now, this is me being a fan and just being a complete mark here, because she's had one championship on the main roster, and it was a very underrated championship. But as I have said, when the bell rings from bell to bell, there's nobody on the roster in the women's division for the WWE that can outperform Io. Nobody. She is just, and the work she's doing now, she's a level way ahead of everyone else. So again, this is just me being a fan, being a mark. So I've got Io at number 2. Brad, you're number 1.
Yeah.
The 14-time women's champion, Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
I know.
Go on, sir.
I mean, you can't deny the record she has.
I can.
I know you can. That's okay. I didn't say the Rock. I didn't say the Rockette. But still, obviously there was a little bit of nepotism involved. But there's some guy, Richard something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But still, you still have to get beyond your father's shadow.
True.
And I really think she's done that. Yeah, she's a Flair, but it's Charlotte now. It's not. It's Charlotte Flair, but she's called the Queen. I mean, Ric Flair at one point was the man before someone else became the man.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all a question of like it's a question, right? When is Charlotte coming back?
So
it's a question. But that's the thing. It's a question. We know she's coming back, and we know she's going to make an impact, because that's what has made her a significant champion, which is why I have put her at the top.
Well, yeah, there is the joke that there are 3 things inevitable in life: death, taxes, and Charlotte Flair getting a championship match.
Yeah,
and they're just going to roll her off of the assembly line in her new robo leg.
Jesus Christ, they'd still be wrestling Rick if you could still.
I know, right?
You only had one heart attack in the ring, for God's sakes.
All right, Ego, you're number 1.
Man, I'm gonna say it's Charlotte Flair as well, dude. That's like I almost get the whole Deadpool saying to Wolverine, "Till you're 90." They're gonna make her. They're gonna keep rolling her out. She's gonna go chill away for 6 or 8 months. They're gonna put her back together, RoboCop style. Ship her back out. She'll get a title match. I mean, but it's one thing to say it's nepotism, or it's like it might be athletic ability, or it's the fact that you're a hard worker too. But all 3 is very hard to beat. Yes, she's got the name, but she's uber talented. She's got a great finisher. She's fantastic in the ring. And if nothing else, her title runs are all but certain and almost guaranteed. And so for that reason, I have to have her number one. I can't deny that. It's not like she's necessarily a boring champion. She's like a champion hunter, like a wolf style. Like whoever's got the belt, Charlotte Flair is gonna be on you because you're the next prey. I like her more as a champion hunter and getting the title off of her than actually getting the title off of her.
I like heel Charlotte. I like heel Charlotte better.
Yeah, and I guess that's what I mean. She's like the female Randy Orton.
Ric Flair?
Like no. I think her when she comes to the ring, she's like that. And when she's in the ring, she can be like a viper almost. So that's why I got to give her number one on this.
All right, average title reign of Charlotte Flair is 75 days. I'm going to say that right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So
analytics joker.
Yeah. The ping ponging back and forth between her and Sasha Banks was not fun to watch.
No, that was awful.
That's fair. That's fair.
That was not fair at all.
So my number one is the man, Becky Lynch.
Okay.
Talk about a botch that turned someone famous. A inadvertent elbow from Nia Jax, which broke her nose, legitimately broke her nose.
Yeah.
And she's in the stands bleeding. And the fans just gravitated to her. And ever since then, she is as vanilla as you can get on the microphone. Her matches are okay, but you cannot deny the star power and the what she commands when she gets into the ring. She is going to give you a good match. She's going to make her opponent look like $1 million. And even if she wins, when she went down to NXT and took the belt off of Tiffany Stratton, she made Tiffany Stratton look amazing, which just accelerated her main roster debut. And then she put Lyra over. And look at the start of the year, not how the year's ending, but look at the start of the year that Lyra had. So Becky Lynch is someone who, like we've said, has understood the business and understood that it's now she's in the point of her career where she needs to start, where she's the one to put people over.
Yeah.
So Becky Lynch is my number one.
Kind of like her husband.
Right. I'm not necessarily a fan of hers, but I've got to give the
credit.
Proper due. So we have a two-way tie for second and a two-way tie for first. However, in third place with a whopping 5 points, Lita.
Nice.
In second place with 6 points each, Beth Phoenix and Io Sky.
Okay.
And in number one, with 10 points each, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, appropriately.
Sounds like a WrestleMania match.
Definitely.
Yeah, right.
An old WrestleMania match.
Right? So, yeah. So, fun. So, next week, we're going to have, unless you guys want to break this tie, or do you want to?
I like it where it is.
I'm fine where it's at.
Okay, so we'll go best women's champ. We got Becky and Charlotte. So
did Ego and I? Oh, I'm misreading it. Okay, I had Becky as my number 5 and Charlotte's number 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So next week we're gonna go with our top 5 worst intercontinental champions.
Ooh. Okay.
And
how do I spell Macho Man?
Don't do that. Don't. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
The sacrilege.
I'm sorry. I'm just pulling a Gunther troll.
Right.
How dare you?
It's like that.
Jesus. Oh, Lyra. Oh boy. Oh, Matt is on his one. Tsunami. So the answer is tsunami. So basically, if Bronson Reed and Rhea Ripley were a tag team, you can call them Sumami.
Ooh.
Oh,
They would try that. It would be tried.
oh, dad jokes.
Yeah, I know. So, Ego, what do you got coming up?
All right, guys. Me and Cheer will be live this Sunday for Ordinary Games, checking in and telling y'all how terrible it is to be out in these dating streets if you are out there in them. I've got some things cooked up for some more Stone Cold Chiro. Also, go ahead and check out my best video that's played about Beauty and the Beast, how everyone that movie is absolute trash. Don't believe me? Look at the comments people gave me. So check that out as well.
Facts.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Stop him when he is telling lies.
That's all bro. I had to squat up in the comments with everybody about that. I didn't know people were going to be like this over sacred cows. Jesus.
Oh yeah. Mr. Duke Devil 95. What do you got coming up, sir?
Well, tomorrow night I will be on Static 2020's weekend pregame. I don't know what we're talking about. He usually finds some weird shit to talk about, and we're running right up to something happening next week, kind of big in the country. Just a little bit thing. And I will probably be appearing on a stream Tuesday night. I don't know which one, but we have all talked about doing some election coverage, so I'll be on for a bit there. Hopefully this weekend I will actually get to do a video. I haven't done one in a month because of like 2 hurricanes and vacation.
True.
But I got some nice footage from Pompeii.
Yes.
And I watched I watched on the drive to Pompeii. I watched the fires of Pompeii on my iPhone.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I might do a little incorporation, revisiting some Doctor Who, because you know what? I bitch about a lot of shit, and maybe it's time I start talking about some of the good shit again.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about that, and I'm gonna talk about Agatha.
Oh my God! Wow, no chill.
It's called storm surge. It's not a tsunami. It's very similar. Storm surge, very similar. But yeah, otherwise that's probably it for me being live, and hopefully I get some time to do some editing and put some videos up this weekend.
All right. Oh my! So tomorrow night you can catch me on with Roman of the Empire as we are closing out the spooky season, talking about our favorite monster films, monsters in general, creatures, the whatnot, and I will be watching Crown Jewel and giving my review on the Monday. Friday, I've got something cooking in my head. I'm not sure quite yet where I want to go with this, but trust me, you'll get some new content on Monday. I want to thank these guys. I want to thank Ego for hosting tonight. This was an experiment for me and my personal internet. So maybe next week you'll see another host of this show, possibly me. So that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, Chad, thank you for being here. Matt, you've kept us laughing the whole time. Whatever drugs you're on, have them double the dosage. That was great.
Yeah, come back and bring him next week.
Right? Exactly. So until next week, folks, have a great rest of your week. Always have fun. Keep smiling. Keep talking. And doodles.